All right. Welcome back to the Seven Deadly Sins anime review, episode number 61. We're here reviewing episodes 5 and 6 of the series. 5 is the debut of one very important character, Anne. She made debut at the end of the episode. But the thing with the first episode 5 is the first half of the episode is that they basically wrap up the Echo Gorge arc. Where basically in the episode, I think it's Donnie kills the fairy, and who was actually who turned Ordo into a monster, and it turns out that the fairy is actually a familiar of a holy knight from the kingdom Camelot, or in the case what Percival calls Camelot. Yes, he refers to the country of Camelot as Camelot. I'm not sure. It's a common misconception, of course, that the group knows what he's talking about. He's talking about Camelot, not even calls it Camelot. So then, of course, he basically proceeds to beat the crap out of this particular knight really badly. He even has it's a really awesome battle sequence. And, of course, he's defeated. And, of course, well, of course, he promised Nausicaans he was going to turn his adopted grandfather back into a human. And, well, he thought he failed, but nope. Sin just happens to find the staff responsible for it, which is a fragment of chaos. Which when they talk about the fragment of chaos, one of the things they show is actually, believe it or not, the very staff used by Death Pierce in the Grudge of Edinburgh 2-part movie. Which, of course, he destroyed that thing. Yep. So another piece of it. And of course, Doris basically, where it's like, oh, look, you're like a zombie. Nope, it just basically her heavy metal form, which she did on instinct to protect herself, and she turned back to normal, and she loses basically her habit, the little thing on top of her head. Yep, and of course, well, oh yeah, they had a contest, the thing to start this off with, where whoever catches the most stuff gets to give one command. And Percival wasn't catch stuff, but he lost it. Don didn't catch anything, but it turns out Sin caught a rabbit. But luckily enough, Nausicaa wants to join the group, so he's allowed to join the group anyways. So we're going to go to the next town. That town being called Siena. Sistana, yes. So they mentioned about the incantation orb that, of course, Sin used back in episode 3. Yeah, it was episode 3, just a couple episodes prior to this. And Nausicaa does know about it, but he does mention they were made by Merlin, which makes it, at this point, the first one of the sins being mentioned in the series at this point in time. There's also an object from the previous series. Well, we'll get to that. So, then they arrive at the town. Well, just before they arrive, Ironside is here. And he's here looking for a fragment of the Coffin of Darkness. Yes, well, thing with prayer. And just by sheer coincidence, Percival's magic finds a thing by accident. They meet Annie. Of course, they don't know her name yet a little bit later. And she takes a rapier out of an umbrella. Yes, an umbrella. And, of course, Nausicaa does identify her as the daughter of the Lord of the Town. Which, that's what she is in the manga. Also, too. So, yeah. So, it's a piece of the Coffin of Darkness. Which, I should point out, though, this is the first thing that's been seen since the beginning of Season 2 of the original Seven Deadly Sins anime. That was the last time officially was seen. And it was used to unleash the 10 Commandments. The 10 demons, well, technically all but one was a demon, under the command of the Demon King himself, all having fragments of his power, and one of them happened to be one of his children, Zeteros, who's currently the ruler of the Demon Kingdom. One of only 2 people who've been part of the 10 Commandments who's actually still alive. The other being Mel, who they thought was a sibling, turns out was like it was sort of a mind manipulation type of thing. Or it turns out Gother was actually a member, except that not one that, of course, the one Ten Commandments thought he was the seven. He thought he was a member of Ten Commandments. Turns out, no, he is not the actual member who fills Mel's spot. It was actually his creator, who's also named Gothar. It's kind of a bit confusing, but that's kind of explained in the show. And of course, they have where you see it and it's completed because apparently the maid who apparently works for Anne, turns out is actually familiar of Ironside. So Percival saves Anne from being Ironside. It looks like he's like, oh, it's like promising a spouse to his son. And here's the thing. Prior to him seeing him at this party related to Eternal Darkness, he did not know his son was even alive. He had no idea. He thought he was dead. So you're probably thinking, wait, did he have another son? He does. He doesn't pop up later. I'm only spoiling that because that's what he's talking about, his other son. So, yeah. And of course, he rescues Anne. Of course, Anne has the ability to detect people who are lying. And Percival's the only person of everybody she's met who does not lie. Has no secrets about them. She sees Sin, looks like he's lying. He has a secret, which that would not reveal to a little bit later. Now, that is actually set up for a future story arc. Everyone else, basically, it's their nature is a lie. Even her father is a lie. I would say the biggest, who has the biggest black stuff surrounding them is actually Ironside. Yes. So then, of course, he unleashes after everybody introduced themselves to, and of course they agreed to save the town. Of course, she's the daughter of the Lord, so she has to. Of course, she wants to come on Holy Night, but apparently the father doesn't want her to, for some reason, and apparently he discourages her from using the ability to detect people who are lying. And according to her, her mother saw the ability as a gift from God. And he is acting completely rash. He even slaps his own daughter in the episode. Yes, you actually hear her getting slapped. You don't see her getting slapped, but you hear it. Now here's the thing. In real life, he'll be arrested for child abuse, for basically for assault for that. Yes. Yes, he will be arrested. He would be arrested for that. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, pretty much basically, so he unleashes a spell. He's going to offer up the whole town to activate the Coffin of Eternal Darkness, and they have to get a piece of it. And that's how the second episode ends. I gotta admit, still really good stuff here. This is a series I'm really enjoying so far. And the plan is right now, when I finish watching the series, I will do one more anime, which I have all ready to go. I just gotta finish watching this one first. If somehow it gets more than 2 weeks, then I may have to basically, as soon as I finish watching this show, because it's 24 episodes, I might have to basically, probably at this point, I may have to basically just go back to watching Q Ranger as soon as the show is finished up, because it's 24 episodes. And so it might be a short break per se, but I'm thinking that's probably going to be the case. That's probably what's going to happen here. I know I'm early on watching the show, but yeah, that's probably what's going to happen here. As soon as I finish the show, I'll go back to Q Ranger, and when I do my next series, which I'll reveal what series to do next, when I get to the stop point for that one, I'll do my next show, which is going to be, I'll review that a little bit later. Okay? So yeah, that's particularly it, particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, tune to the like button. Well, next up, more Four Nights Apocalypse. Yep. Yeah, but see you in the next video. Bye.